Welcome to a play-by-play review. I'm your host Henry, and we're back to doing more baseball. It is week 9, technically, I guess. I'm pretty sure of the Major League Baseball season. If I remember correctly, of my shorts that I was doing because that's where I have actually the numbers listed down. But yeah, this should be week 9, getting actually towards the end of May. So this was the last full week of May. Next week's episode will be on June 2nd, which is crazy to think about. That it's already almost June. So yeah, we're basically about 2 months. Almost about 2 months through the baseball season already, pretty much. And the American League is still terrible for the most part. It has not gotten better. So I got nothing for this one. I mean, there's still we're back to only having 3 teams above 500 in the American League, and I got nothing there. It's like the National League has only only 5 teams below 500. Or at 500 or below, compared to the only 3 that are above 500. The A's right now at the moment are 27-27, so they're at 500 at least, though they're losing at the moment to Seattle 4-0. So, the American League is just awful. Like the O's are 25-30 right now, and they're they're 2 games out of a wild card spot, which is held by Minnesota at the moment. It's the Yankees, the White Sox, and the Twins are your current wild card teams. The Yankees are 33-22, by the way. The White Sox are 27-27, and then the Twins are 27-28. So this playoff picture would be really interesting if we were to go to it now. But that is why we play. Well, not we. I don't play it, but that is why they play 162 games, not 58 or so, 59. Actually, 50 more so. It's like, anyway, I'm being redundant about that stuff. So let's jump straight into the action. So flash your minds back to Wednesday, May 20th. The wrap up for a decent number of these series. Yeah. So the Rays would sweep the Orioles, putting up 4 runs in the 8th inning, winning it 5-3 in a really frustrating series to watch. Because it's basically back-to-back games at the bullpen, which had usually been pretty reliable when it came to the high leverage relievers for the O's, just completely collapsed. It got so bad that I actually made a short about it. How bad the O's were playing. They were at this point 21-29. So they're now 25-30. So they're actually, as you can tell, gone on a bit of a hot streak as of late. But yeah, this was rough. This is very rough to watch, pretty much. Pete Alonso and Samuel Basallo both had solo home runs, but they just couldn't get guys on base when they hit them. It was very inopportune hitting, pretty much, for the O's. And this was it was a rough stretch, but they've hopefully turned a corner at this rate. They're playing compared to where they were last week. They're playing a lot better. The Red Sox, meanwhile, would actually come back and win against the Royals, winning 4-3 thanks to a Jarren Duran 2-run double in the 7th inning. So they would sweep the Royals, would Boston, to try and claw their way back into some form of relevance. Given that they were at this point 22-27, it had not been great for the Red Sox so far. Royals really struggling this season. They're currently sitting at 22-33. It's not been good, to say the least. The Reds, meanwhile, would win 9-4 over the Phillies, who are hovering around. Both teams kind of hovering around 500. Nathaniel Lowe with 2 doubles and 3 RBIs. Andrew Abbott got his 4th win of the season, as 15 hits for the Reds, 2 errors as well, but still put up 9 against the Phillies there. So yeah, the Reds trying to keep pace in their just nightmare division, and Phillies rebounding to form and finding new life under, I believe it's Don Mattingly, I think, their new manager. Again, definitely finding new life, though they've cooled off slightly, I think. compared to their insane run after they fired their old manager. So they definitely cooled off a little bit, but overall they're playing a lot better. They did lose the series against Cincinnati, but still, compared to what they were a couple weeks ago, 25-25 wasn't too bad at that point. The Twins, in the meantime, would, because I need to stop saying "meanwhile" for my transition word. I gotta pull out the thesaurus here soon. The Twins would win the series against Houston, winning this game 4-1 and winning the first and third games of the series. What is ESPN telling me this time? Golden Knights sweep the Colorado Avalanche to reach the Stanley Cup Finals. I don't actually. Quick detour to NHL playoffs. Also for basketball, I know the Knicks just swept the Cavs, so they're going to the finals. I hope the Spurs win. I don't want to see Oklahoma City in the finals again. Not that I'm much of a basketball fan, but yeah. So Carolina is up 2-1 against Montreal at the moment. Okay, so that Stanley Cup has not been fully decided, but that is so. The Golden Knights are going to the finals looking for their second Stanley Cup as a team who is their first season was, I think, 2018, and they've already won a cup, which is kind of crazy. But anyway, that's hockey. That's pretty much the limit of my knowledge there. So anyway, it's just talking about the Twins. They won 2 of 3 against the Astros there. Joe Ryan had pitched 12 strikeouts in the game. So that's pretty good over 6 innings. Gotta love double-digit strikeout games. Over with the Rangers and the Rockies, I think that's in Colorado from the looks of it. The Rangers would win 5-4 over Colorado. They would take the series there, winning games 2 and 3. This was putting up 2 in the 9th as well. Did Texas to come back and win 5-4. So a blown save there for Brennan Bernardino, who I guess was trying to save the game there from the looks of it. So Colorado, and I mean, I feel like they've had some fun moments here and there, but they're still one of the worst teams in baseball at the moment at 19-31. After that day as well, they actually, how are they doing now? They're 20-35. So yeah, that is standings wise overall, because I'm just curious to check. Overall, Colorado is dead last. They're one game back of the Tigers and the Angels, who are both 21-34. Tigers have had a real rough stretch as of late. But yeah, the Rockies are kind of expected to be down there. Unfortunately, I would like to see the Rockies be better, but I think their ownership is just incredibly cheap and also very not smart. Same with their managerial staff, like their executive branch. It's real bad. Anyway, the Diamondbacks would win 6-3 over the Giants. Merrill Kelly got his 4th win of the season. Ketel Marte and Geraldo Perdomo both had really good games, which is nice because I had both of them on my fantasy team. Ketel Marte's had a really nice stretch over the past week and a half. I think he had a 10-game hit streak at one point. He's homered in a bunch of games. This helped them to propel a series sweep over their division rival Giants. So the Diamondbacks not too bad so far this season. I know Corbin Carroll is just absolutely mashing triples this season as well. So it's been pretty fun to see out west. Speaking of out west, over in Seattle, the Mariners would win 5-4 over the White Sox. Johnny Pareda hits his first MLB home run for the Mariners as well, as they would take that series winning games 1 and 3. Let's see, when was that home run? It was in the 7th inning, and during a 3-run 7th inning to help give the Mariners the victory there. Actually, less hits than the White Sox. White Sox had 4 runs on 11 hits. Mariners 5 runs on 7. That's always an interesting stat line to see. The Mariners trying to get back in a very underwhelming AL West. I always have football in my mind. But yeah, very underwhelming AL West. Mariners trying to claw their way back. At that point, they were 24-27. They are currently, what is going on? 26 and 29 from the looks of it. Anyways, the Braves would win 9-1 over their division rival Marlins. Chris Sale got his 7th win. 3 home runs between Austin Riley and Dominic Smith. So the Braves doing what they've been doing for most of the season. They would win. This was game 3 of 4 between these two teams. Braves winning game 2 and 3 there. Marlins 22 and 28. A fun 22 and 28, but still 22 and 28. Braves a fun 34 and 16. So pretty different teams. All things trying to give the Marlins fans something at least, because they are the Braves are really good right now. Over in the AL Central in a divisional matchup there, the Guardians would win 3-2 over the Tigers in an extra innings matchup in the 10th inning. Cade Smith with his 16th save of the season in this one would net the Guards the victory there. Angel Martinez with a tie-breaking triple in the 10th. And I guess Jose Ramirez. Wait, why is that title looks wrong? Because how can it be? What? So Angel Martinez hit a tie-breaking triple in the 10th inning. Jose Ramirez followed with an RBI double. But that doesn't make sense because it should be more than one run. Hang on. Let me check the game cast. Maybe the Tigers scored 1 in the bottom. They did. Okay, that's why. So it was 1-1 going into the 10th inning. It took me a sec to realize. Yeah. So then Angel Martinez hits triple to make it 2-1. Then Jose Ramirez doubles to make it 3-1. The Tigers score 1 in the bottom of the 10th, but not 2. Okay. I see now. Got it. Took me a sec to process there. So yeah, that was, let's see, 3-2. So that was Guardians winning 3 games in a row in a 4-game series against Detroit. Spoiler alert, they would win the next one. And yeah, the Tigers at the moment, just to briefly touch on them, since they are, all the way down there at the bottom, they have, let's do one of these over their last type of deals. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Wait, hang on, miscounted. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 games. Of their last 20 games, the Tigers have won a grand total of 3. So they are 3 and 17 over the last 20. That's why they're 21 and 34 at the moment. That is a really bad stretch. Obviously, it doesn't help that they have they're one of the most injured teams in the league. No Tarek Skubal, no Gleyber Torres. I know Casey Mize as well, I believe, has been injured a bunch. So they've lost a lot of their big pieces, but still, it's been bad to say the least for Detroit. In the National League East, the Nationals would win 8-4 over the Mets. This was a C.J. Abrams 3-run home run game in the first inning. Jacob Young also hit a 2-run home run in the first as well. Zach Littell got his 4th win. So I think that was 5 runs. 3 runs in the first inning. The headline misled me. Nat scored 3 in the first. Jacob Young scored 2 in the 8th inning. Okay, so that was all the way at the end. Juan Soto did have a 2-run home run, but it was not enough as the Nats' high-powered offense continued to do Nats things. They would win 2 in a row against the Mets, winning the middle 2 against them there in that 4-game series. In the AL East, to flip leagues, the Blue Jays would win 2-1 over the Yankees, winning the 3rd game of 4 after losing the first 2 against those dreaded Yanks. This would be Cam Schlittler's 2nd loss of the season in a very, very low-scoring game. This would be Trey Yasevich's 2nd win as well. So a couple of the young star pitchers for these two teams, and Yasevich and Schlittler going at it. Schlittler gave up both his runs in the 7th inning. It was a pretty good, pretty good rally there by Toronto as well. Yankees would only score 1 in the 9th on a Goldschmidt RBI fielder's choice, but it was not enough in the end, as the Yankees at that point fell to 30-20. Blue Jays 22-27 after that one. The Brewers would shut out the Cubs on just 2 hits. Kyle Harrison, with his 5th win, tossed 11 strikeouts as the Brewers continued to play well. They're having a much better stretch as of late, from what I can tell at least. Yeah, they're definitely playing better over this past couple weeks. So they would win it over their division rival Cubs there. And this was a series sweep of their division rival Cubs too. From one NL Central matchup to another, the Pirates would shut out the Cardinals 7-0 with 15 hits. Spencer Horwitz had a home run. Connor Griffin with 4 hits. I always forget how to pronounce your name. Carmen Mlodinski, I think. Carmen Mlodinski with the win there for Pittsburgh. Obviously does not give up a run. And yeah, Pirates back above 500 after that one. And again, need to get stack as many wins as you can if you're in the NL Central, given the state of that division. We go to a 3rd straight shutout, and the Dodgers shutting out the Padres in a very, very one-sided divisional matchup divisional series, really. I mean, the Padres won the first one 1-0, but after that it was pretty heavily in favor of the Dodgers. It felt like, at least watching it. This was a Shohei Ohtani homering on the first pitch of the game, which would wind up being the winning run, as obviously the Padres did not score a single run. He also pitched 5 scoreless innings as well, which certainly helps because you can always just, it helps when you can just give yourself run support. It's gotta feel good if you're a pitcher. And then finally for that Wednesday, as we're again always taking I always take way too long on the first day. So yeah, the A's would win 6-5 over the Angels. Jeff McNeil homered in the 9th inning to, I guess, tie it up, send it to extras. And then Tyler Soderstrom hit an RBI triple to win it for the Athletics against the Angels, who at that point were 17-33. That is real rough. A's 25-24. They would win 3 of 4 against the Angels. I guess their last game of that series was played on Thursday. But yeah, anyway, let's move on to that Thursday. So a lot fewer games than this one. Guardians and Tigers would play 3-1 for the Guardians here. So this was end of the series there, with Guardians sweeping all 4 of those. Patrick Bailey with a home run. Hunter Gaddis with his first save of the season. Casey Mize, who's back at this point, got hit with a loss there. But I know he was injured for a decent bit of the season there for Detroit. Pirates would win 6-2 over the Cardinals. Braxton Ashcraft with his 3rd win. Brandon Lau with a homer. Marcell Ozuna with a pair of RBIs. So that was a series victory for Pittsburgh, taking games 2 and 3. The Mets would win 2-1 over the Nats, so they would split that 4-game series there. Drew Peterson, that's her first name, right? I think it's David Peterson. Never mind. He got his 3rd win. Bo Bichette with both of the RBIs in that game for the Mets. He had a 2-run single there. Devin Williams with his 7th save. He's been pitching better as of late. The Braves would win 9-3 over the Marlins. Sandy Alcantara, his 3rd loss. He's 3-3. Spencer Strider, who's back in pitching in the bigs again after an injury, took him out for most of the start of the season. He got his 2nd win. He has a flat 3 ERA at the moment. So that was Braves winning 3 of 4 against the Marlins there. The Blue Jays, in the meantime, would even up the series, splitting it 2-2. So I guess it's more split the series, winning 2-0 against the Yankees there. Carlos Rodon, 0-2 on the season, got his 2nd loss there. Jeff Hoffman, his 4th save of the season. Vlad Guerrero had a 3-hit game, or I guess got on base 3 times, according to the thing. And then George Springer also had a home run. Yankees just 3 hits in this game. There's always just these random games where the Yankees just barely get any hits. And then there's other games where they just destroy the ball. It's weird. The A's in the meantime, would win 3-2 over the Angels. That was how they would win 3-4 against their division rival. Zach Geloff with the RBI fielder's choice in the 10th. So a couple of extra inning games between those two teams. Those A-logoed ALOS teams that have struggled a lot over the past couple of years, given how many similarities I can try and think of off the top of my head. But yeah, A's playing pretty decent baseball at the moment. Then finally, the Diamondbacks would win 2-1 over the Rockies with a Corbin Carroll RBI single in the 9th. Paul Sewald, his first win of the season. The D-backs closer there, 1-4 on the season. So that was the Diamondbacks winning, actually starting out a series, now that I look at it. Starting out a series, 4-game series against their division rival Rockies. So the Diamondbacks go from one division rival to another, and the Giants going straight from the Giants to the Rockies there. I actually didn't think about it, but yeah, that is a start of a series between those two teams. And otherwise, it was basically just concluding a lot of 4-game series between everyone else. So we get to Friday and the start of Memorial Day weekend. The Twins and the Red Sox would play, starting out a series there. Twins would win 8-6 over the Red Sox there. Twins actually on a pretty good stretch of games as of late. They've won, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They've won 7 over the last 9, so that's pretty good. Let's see, Byron Buxton and Austin Martin both with 2-run home runs in this game. And I know the Red Sox really struggled with holding leads in this one. They were up 4-0 after the first inning. Then they gave up 3 in the second, put up 2 more in the fourth. So they're up 5-3 going into the 7th. Gave up 4 runs in the 7th to make it, 7-6. And the Twins also added on 1 more in the end to make it 8-6. Both of those 2-run home runs came in that 7th inning there for the Twins. The O's, in the meantime, would start a series against the Tigers. And this was a nice win for the Orioles. This is one that I streamed. Pete Alonso hit a home run in this game. He had 4 RBIs. Jackson Holliday also had a very peculiar home run in this game that got stuck under the foul pole pretty much. And this was a good performance overall by Chris Bassett. He had one kind of bad inning. I think he gave up 3 runs in the second. He gave up 1 in the third, 2 in the fourth. He gave up 3 it just felt like it was pretty quick, but Keegan Aiken also gave up a home run on the first pitch to Kevin McGonigal, which I was not happy about. But Jack Flaherty, who had been on the Orioles a little bit in 2023, he got traded to them at the deadline and pitched horribly there. Pitched horribly again for in Camden Yards. Gave up those home runs. He's 0-6 on the season now after that one. So the O's got back on track. I was very happy to see that game. The Astros and the Cubs would start a series. I don't really think there's much I can find similarity-wise, but this was a Spencer Allegretti win. He's 6-1 in the season, so with a 1.32 ERA, by the way. So pretty good, actually. That's really good. Now that I think about it, that is a really good stat line right there for a pitching staff that has struggled a lot this season, to say the least. So the Cubs would fall to a 6-game losing streak after this one. With a Christian Vasquez home run as well. Jameson Taillon got his 4th loss. 9 hits for the Astros, only 4 runs. 4 hits for the Cubs, only 2 runs. The Guardians and the Phillies would start out a series with the Guardians winning 1-0. Gavin Williams, that's your first name, right? Yeah, Gavin Williams, his 7th win. Johan Duran, his 2nd loss of the season. Cade Smith, his 17th save. So this was the only run coming on a Kyle Manzardo home run in the 9th inning off of Johan Duran was the game-winning run there for Cleveland as they would top the Phillies. The Rays and the Yankees would start a series with the Rays winning 4-2. Ian Seymour, his 3rd win. Tim Hill, his 2nd loss. Brian Baker, 14th save. Garrett Cole pitched 6 scoreless innings for the Yankees, but it was not enough as the Rays would rally late in the game. They would score all their runs in the 8th inning. Jonathan Aranda with an RBI double to center, and then a Richie Palacios 2 RBI single, and then what is your first name? Ryan Valade RBI or sac fly put up all those 4 runs in the 8th for the Rays, who just tend to do that. They're just really scrappy. Yankees 11 hits, only 2 runs. Pretty typical stat line there for the Rays, both offensively and defensively. The Blue Jays and the Pirates would start a series with the Blue Jays winning 6-2. Kevin Gossman pitched a really nice game. He's 4-3 on the season as Bubba Chandler got hit with his 6th loss on the season as well. Once again, it's one of those Blue Jays had less hits than the Pirates, but scored a lot more runs. Interesting there. The Marlins would win 2-1 over the Mets, so they Marlins go from one division matchup to another. Aori Perez gave up a solo home run to Juan Soto in the first inning, but then I think he actually pitched well, he obviously did not give up another run after that. Perez pitched 6 in the 3rd inning, so he buckled down a lot after that first inning. So actually, funny enough, the Mets, Marlins, Braves, Nationals would basically just swap opponents pretty much. So it was the Nats and Braves would play, with the Braves winning 5-4. Chadwick Tromp, former Oriole actually, the Braves just kind of finding a bunch of former Orioles, because I know they also have Jorge Mateo as well. But yeah, Tromp with an RBI single in the 11th for the Braves to win it there. Braves 36-16 after that game. Nats 25-27. And I'm going faster again because we're already almost at half an hour and I want to get this done. Brewers would win 5-1 over the Dodgers. They would start off a series there. Jacob Robleski, his 2nd loss of the season. William Contreras, not Wilson Contreras. William Contreras with a 3-run home run in this game to basically give the Brewers the victory. So both teams above 30 wins as well after that one. So both couple potential playoff matchup between those two teams. The Royals and the Mariners would play, with the Mariners shutting out the Royals 2-0. Andres Munoz, his 9th save. Mitch Garver with that 2-run home run. Is that Edward Bizardo? He's credited with victory as the relief pitcher there. I guess that was a pretty late home run. It must have been then. It was in the 7th inning, yeah. So that's why it was a relief pitcher who got the win. The Angels and the Rangers would play in a division matchup, with the Angels winning 9-6. Zach Neto with a pair of home runs. Grayson Rodriguez got his first win of the season. Actually, didn't realize Rodriguez pitched in that one. Jacob deGrom, did not mean to bookmark this place. Or bookmark the site, but yeah. Jacob deGrom, his 4th loss of the season. Rodriguez still gave up 4 runs in this one, but had much better support from his offense. 5 2/3 innings, 7 hits, 4 runs, all earned 2 walks to 5 strikeouts. So it's getting there for Gray Rod. The Padres and the Athletics would play in a West Coast matchup, with the Padres winning 7-3. Ramon Laureano hit a home run, tie-breaking home run in the 7th, with Manny Machado and Nick Castellanos, I guess, also hitting either RBIs or homers, one of the two. Let me check real quick, even though I should probably just be moving on, but I'm curious. Nick Castellanos hit a homer in the 5th, and Machado hit one in the 1st. Okay, that's what it was. So, a couple home runs there for the Padres. They're trying to... feels like their offense is a lot worse this season, yet they're still 30-20. It's interesting. In a divisional matchup in a division that includes the Padres, the NL West, it was a division matchup between the... I don't know why I'm trying to introduce this. This series already started the day before. Yeah, Rockies Diamondbacks would play game 2 of their series, with the Rockies winning 3-2 in this one. Chad Stevens with the RBI single to win it in the end. It was a go-ahead RBI single, but it was an RBI single nonetheless. Antonio Senzatella got the win there. He's 4-0 actually on the season as a relief pitcher there for Colorado. So they got to 20 wins. Then the White Sox and Giants would play, with the White Sox winning 9-4. Munetaka Murakami with a 3-run double. 9 runs were all scored in the 4th inning for the White Sox. as they would top the Giants there to get 2 games at that point above 500. Davis Martin, his 7th win of the season there. Then finally, the Cardinals and the Reds would have a game postponed till the next day. So we get to Saturday. The Twins would win 4-2. Trevor Larnach with 4 hits in this game. Taj Bradley, his 5th win. He's been pitching really well for Minnesota as of late, as they would take the lead early and hold on to it for pretty much the whole way. Twins would... That was a 3-game series, right? Yes, that was a 3-game series. Twins would win that series in 2 with 1 to play. The Orioles and Tigers would actually have a game postponed that Saturday because Saturday was just raining all day. So it made sense they would have a doubleheader the day after. So in game 1 of the doubleheader for the Cardinals and Reds, the Cardinals would win 8-1 over the Reds with only giving up 2 hits and 1 run. Let's see, what is your name again? Andre Palante. He got the win there. He obviously pitched very well. And Cardinals scored 6 more runs than they needed to win, but certainly will take it. The Astros would shut out the Cubs 3-0 in that game. Kaiwei Tang, I think that's who it is. Not Kaiwei. He got his 3rd win of the season. Colin Ray, his 3rd loss. Christian Walker with 2 home runs in this game. And all 3 of the RBIs for the Astros, as they would only give up 3 hits in this one. Astros have had a couple really good pitching performances over the past couple days, actually. So that was a good one there for them. They would win 2 in a row, win the series against Chicago, as Chicago faltering a good bit as of late. They've actually lost, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They've lost 10 in a row at the moment, has Chicago. The Cubs, I should say, which is not good, to say the least. The Blue Jays would win 5-2 over the Pirates. This was actually a Paul Skeens start for Pittsburgh, and he got kind of hammered in this one. Gave up a couple. I know he gave up at least one. I think maybe a couple homers in this one, and just not a good start, all things considered, from Paul Skeens. Gave up a George Springer home run in the first inning, then gave up 3 more runs in the 6th. To lose it for Pittsburgh there. So pretty surprising start from Paul Skeens, all things considered. He's 6-4 on the season. Phillies would win 3-0 over the Guardians in a shutout there on only 3 hits. Zach Wheeler pitched really good, 6 shutout innings, obviously. In terms of the shutout. As Phillies would get back to 500 again. Johan Duran, his 9th save of the season as well. The Giants, in the meantime, would win 10-3 over the White Sox. Harrison Bader hit a grand slam in this one for San Francisco. Eric Fetty, he is now 0-5 on the season after he pitched another stinker there. The Marlins would win 4-1 over the Mets. Max Meyer 5-0 now on the season for Miami, as they would take that series there, winning the first 2 in a row. The Nats, in the meantime, would win 2-0 over the Braves. So shutout there. A lot of shutouts on that day, actually. Jake Irvin got his 2nd win. Pitched 5 hitless innings as well, actually. Braves only had 1 hit in this game as a whole. Although Irvin unfortunately did leave with an injury now I'm looking at it. He is on the 15-day IL at the moment. The Royals would, with another shutout here, shut out the Mariners, winning 5-0, giving up only 4 hits. Stephen Kolek with a complete game shutout, actually, now that I'm looking at it. So he would go all 9 innings, giving up 4 hits, with only one walk and only 2 strikeouts. That is kind of crazy. Only 2 strikeouts in pitching a complete game. So I guess just Mariners with really bad contact that whole game. That's kind of crazy. George Kirby got hit with his 4th loss of the season as well. The Reds in game 2 of the doubleheader would win 7-6, so they would split that doubleheader against the Cardinals. That was Riley O'Brien, the closer for the Cardinals, blowing it there. Ellie De La Cruz with a 3-run homer in, when was it? Come on, ESPN, please load. Ellie hit that 3-run homer in the 5th inning, in a 5-run 5th inning for Cincinnati. Then they would have a score 1 in the 11th after St. Louis put up 2 in the 9th to tie it back up. So that was a pretty fun game there from the looks of it, with Cincinnati getting back to 27-25 after that one. The Dodgers would get their win back against the Brewers, winning 11-3 in that one. Roki Sasaki, his 3rd win of the season. Teoscar Hernandez had a home run and 6 RBIs in that game. So very, very good game there for Teoscar. In the meantime, the Padres would win 2-0 over the Athletics, taking that series with the first 2 there. 5 hits for the Athletics, only 2 for the Padres. Yet 2 runs for the Padres, none for the Athletics. Lucas Giolito with the start and the win for San Diego. Mason Miller, his 16th save. Then the Angels would win 5-2 over the Rangers. Mike Trout with 2 home runs in this game. Nathan Eovaldi, his 5th loss of the season, as the Angels would win 2 in a row against Texas, who is struggling as of late. Then the D-backs would win 5-4 over the Rockies, taking 3 in a row over their division rival. Ketel Marte with a 2-run homer in this one. Nolan Arenado also played well. Paul Sewald, his 12th save, as that was, I guess no, it wasn't 3 in a row, but it was taking 2 of 3 at that point against Colorado there to win those in that 4-game series, with the 4th one being played on Sunday. Then finally, the Rays and the Yankees had a game that was postponed, not for the rest of the week, but instead all the way to September 22nd. So like almost at the end of the season, pretty much. So that's interesting there. I guess they just don't play each other for a while or something. I don't know. Interesting makeup date, pretty much. So we go to Sunday, and the first of a doubleheader between the Orioles and the Tigers was an Orioles, their first walk-off win. Oddly enough, Dietrich Enns got his 2nd win of the season for the Orioles, and he has since been DFA'd. He got DFA'd today. I don't really know why, if I'm being honest, because he's pitched pretty well, all things considered, for Baltimore. But I don't know if he's going to get claimed. He might just get sent over to AAA. But still, it's a little strange. But this was a walk-off 2-run home run by Colton Cowser off of Kenley Jansen, who got his 3rd loss of the season. The Milkman with, or the Moo Man, the Milkman, whatever you want to call it. This was quite the game. Gunnar Henderson also hit a home run in this one. Taylor Ward brought it to within 1 in the 8th. It was honestly not a bad pitching performance by the starter, Brandon Young. He went 6 2/3. Didn't give up an earned run. He gave up a couple unearned runs in the 4th inning, but still pitched pretty good, all things considered. And the O's snuck one out of there in the end, pretty much. The Twins would win 6-5 over the Red Sox, sweeping that series with Bailey Ober's 6th win. This was just the Twins, nothing too special, just the Twins winning. 12 hits for the Twins, 11 for the Red Sox. In Game 2 of the doubleheader between the O's and the Tigers, O's would lose 4-1, with Trevor Rogers again not pitching a very good game. One of his better starts in this last stretch, all things considered, but still not great. This time it was just the O's offense could do nothing. They only had 3 hits, only 1 run. It just wasn't good, pretty much. So they would split the doubleheader, but still win the series, did the Orioles. The Pirates would win 4-1 over the Blue Jays. Mitch Keller, his 5th win. Dylan Cease, his 3rd loss, and Cease is actually now on the injured list. So he got injured during the course of this game. Only on the 15-day IL, so not the 60-day at least, but Cease is down for probably a couple weeks, with the Pirates staving off the sweep there. In the meantime, the Guardians would win 3-1 over the Phillies. Parker Messick, his 6th win of the season. Cade Smith, his 18th save. So he's, I think, the major leagues, the baseball is a leader in saves at the moment, with the Guardians taking that series with games 1 and 3 won. The Yankees would win 2-0 over the Rays on a walk-off Aaron Judge home run to the short porch in the bottom of the ninth. It was a walk-off 2-run home run. And, it's stupid Yankee short porch. That ball should have been out in most of the ballparks, but I hate the Yankee short porch. It's so dumb. I don't really like short porches in general. I think it's kind of silly, but the Yankees one especially is just ridiculous. I also just don't like it because of the Yankees. That's like fully because of my bias, pretty much. I'm not trying to be objective there. That's just me hating the Yankees. But I do like generally as a whole. I'm not a huge fan of short porches, especially if they're like way too short. Like that one. Like I know that Houston's Crawford box is also kind of the same thing. Like the Red Sox right field's also kind of like that. I mean, even the Orioles flag court is a little bit of a short porch, but not that much. Obviously baseball dimensions are always a bit different, but yeah, it's Yankees one's a bit egregious in my opinion. Moving on to the Marlins and the Mets. The Marlins would shut out the Mets, winning 4-0 there. Herberto Hernandez grand slam off of Devin Williams in the ninth as well. So that was scoreless going into the bottom of the ninth, and then you have a walk-off grand slam. That is quite the game, to say the least, as the Marlins would sweep the Mets there. The Dodgers would win 5-1 over the Brewers, with Yoshinobu Yamamoto having a very nice performance there. He's 4-4 on the season. Andy Pages with a 2-run home run, as the Dodgers would take that series over the Brewers, winning games 2 and 3. The Royals would win 8-6 over the Mariners. Seth Lugo, his 2nd win of the season. Salvador Perez with a nice bit of hitting here. Let's see. I'm assuming he hit a home run. Let's see. Just had actually a couple RBI singles from the looks of it. Yeah. Okay. So KC scored 4 in the 5th inning. It was an intentional walk to load the bases to get to Salvi, who then hit a 2 RBI single to break it open there for Seattle, or for Kansas City, who would take that series actually against Seattle, winning games 2 and 3. Next up, the Astros would sweep the Cubs, winning 8-5 there. Christian Walker with a 3-run home run. Shota Imanaga, his 5th loss of the season there for Chicago, who's in a bit of a tailspin as the Astros try to claw their way back towards a 500 record. The Giants would win 8-5 over the White Sox. Rafi Devers hit a grand slam, 3rd grand slam in 7 days. Wow, I didn't realize that. He hit a grand slam in this one, 3rd in 7 days for San Francisco to help the Giants beat the White Sox, sending them back to 500, with the Giants winning that series with games 2 and 3. And after that, it is the Nats and the Braves, with the Nats winning 2-1 over the very good Atlanta Braves. Foster Griffin pitched really well. 3 hits and 6 scoreless. And then who was the winning run? It was RBI fielder's choice, actually. That was the Braves scoring 1 there in the ninth. It was a Luis Garcia Jr. RBI single to make it 2-0. Nasim Nunez had an RBI single to make it 1-0 that one. Okay. Anyway, moving on. Got it there. As that actually, was that series over? It was, with the Nats actually taking that series over Atlanta, surprisingly enough, winning games 2 and 3. The Athletics, meanwhile, would win 5-2 over the Padres. Carlos Cortez and hit a home run. Nick Kurtz extended his on-base streak to 47 games. That is pretty crazy there, as the Athletics would stave off the series sweep, winning game 3 there against San Diego. Then the Diamondbacks would win against the Rockies 9-1, winning 3 of 4 against their division rival. 2 RBI triples for Corbin Carroll in this game. Just continuing to rake up those triples is Corbin Carroll. And yeah, that's it there. I was thinking I was going to add something else, but I was like, oh no, yeah, I guess that's all I really wanted to say. I guess that's Jose Quintana, his 3rd loss for for Colorado. Then lastly, as the Cardinals and Reds had a rain cancellation for their game there, with the makeup date being on August 17th. The Angels would win 2-1 over the Rangers. And I believe this was a series sweep for the Angels over Texas. Reed Detmers with 8 innings pitched there. Wow, that is impressive. Let's see. Yeah, Reed Detmers, 8 innings pitched, 1 hit, 1 run earned, 14 strikeouts. So he gave up a singular hit that was a Jake Berger home run in the 2nd. Otherwise, it was 14 strikeouts, 8 innings. Pretty good there from Detmers, who just got just barely enough run support there from his teammates to get the win. So we go to Monday, to Memorial Day, with the Orioles taking on the Rays. So back-to-back weeks with the Orioles and Rays starting a 3-game series on a Monday. This time, though, it was something crazy, to say the least. I was actually on this day going to see The Mandalorian and Grogu. I saw it in theaters, and I went in. It was I left to go watch it, and it was Taylor Ward had just made it 2-1 on an RBI single in, I believe, the 7th inning. I think is what it was. Yeah, it was the 7th inning. The O's scored 2 to make it 2-1. They gave up 1 in the 6th on a Jonathan Aranda home run. Then gave up 2 runs scored 2 runs in the 7th to make it 2-1. I got to the mall and was getting my seats and saw that it was 2-2, that Rich Palacios had tied it up in the 8th inning. So I was like, all right, well, the game will probably end at the previews, right? That's what I was thinking. It'll end in the 9th inning and whatnot. Someone will score. And, the game will be over by the time the movie starts. So I kept it on my phone, just kept my phone on the lowest brightness setting. And I have my ESPN app in dark mode. So it was it wasn't bothering anyone. I was in the last row. So it was all good. It's keeping the game cast on. And then it's all right, well, going to the 10th. Or they went to extras off of a really nice, stolen base pickoff by Adley Rutschman against Chandler Simpson, I believe. Or it might have been Junior Caminero, one of the two. But a really good throw from Adley Rutschman, probably the best of his career from behind home plate. So it's I was sitting there, all right, I guess we're going to the 10th. And then I went to the 10th inning and no one scored. So I was all right, I guess we're going to the 11th. And then the Rays hit a, where was it? It was, a 2-run home run in the 11th inning. To make it 4-2. I was all right, I can put my phone away. The O's aren't tying this game up. But I was curious. I was I got to check it at least. And at this point, it was right at the end of the previews or movie had started at this point. And so I checked it. And then it was Pete Alonso had an RBI single to make it 4-3. And I was oh, okay. And then Jeremiah Jackson right after him pretty much hit a RBI double or RBI single, and then he got to second base. So I was oh, okay, they tied it up. So then they had a chance to win. Then they did not. And so went to the 12th inning. So I'm all right, well, I gotta keep an eye on it. Then in the 12th inning, Jonathan Aranda had a sac fly to make it 5-4 Rays. And then the Orioles got one back on a really incredible slide by Colton Cowser, where he basically slid through the glove of Nick Fortes, the catcher for Tampa Bay. It was crazy. So they tied it up, and it was 5-5 going into the 13th inning. Then Cedric Mullins hit an RBI single to make it 6-5. Then Nick Fortes hit a sac fly to make it 7-5. And it's all right, surely the game's over here. Their O's aren't going to win this one. And then Leody Taveras had an RBI double. Then Jackson Holliday hit a sac fly, made it 7-7. And then Colton Cowser, for the second day in a row, hit a walk-off 2-run home run, 9-7 Orioles. It was crazy. This game was 2-2 going into the ninth inning, and it ended 9-7. That's crazy. Dietrich Enns also got the win. And again, he got DFA'd not even 12 hours ago. I don't get it. But yeah, this was something, to say the least. Yeah, sure. Anyway, in terms of less exciting news for the baseball world, the Pirates won 2-1 over the Cubs. Gregory Soto got his 6th save as those two division rivals would start out a matchup there. The White Sox would start up a division matchup against the Twins, winning 3-1 with Sir Anthony Dominguez getting his 11th save. So a couple former Orioles pitchers with some saves there in Soto and Dominguez. Both part of the Orioles bullpen in 2024 and 2025. Was it? Or it might have. I don't think it was. No, it wasn't just 2025. I think it was also 2024. Anyway, yeah, it was 2024 because that was the deadline. Anyway, the Brewers would win 5-1 over their division rival Cardinals. So a lot of division matchups here, at least a couple of them here and there. Jacob Mizorowski, his 5th win as he continues to pitch incredibly well, only giving up 2 hits. The Yankees would win 4-3 over the Royals with Lucas Erceg blowing the save. Anthony Volpe, a 2 RBI single in the 9th for New York there. David Bednar with his 12th save in this one. The Reds would win 7-2 over the Mets. Nick Lodolo, his 1st win. Nolan McLean, his 4th loss. And Lodolo 1-1 after a lengthy stint on the injured list to start the season. He's back in the win category now. And Nolan McLean, whose rookie season, I believe, for the Mets has been up and down, to say the least. Next up, divisional matchup between the Diamondbacks and the Giants. So the D-backs... Actually, wow, that's crazy. I actually didn't realize that. They went 3 games against the Rockies, 3 games against the Giants, 4 games against the Rockies, and now they're playing another series against the Giants. So they're just getting all their division stuff out of the way here in the moment. Then they go 3 against Seattle, then 3 against Los Angeles. So there's a slight reprieve as they stay on the West Coast, but then they do more divisional matchups. That is a very interesting schedule right there. It's like the one team they don't play is who else is in there? The Padres in that stretch. That's crazy. They would win 6-2 here with Ketel Marte with 4 hits in this game. Merrill Kelly, his 5th win. Landon Rupp, his 5th loss. The Nationals would win 10-2 over the Guardians. I unfortunately had Tanner Bybee, who had his... I don't know why I picked him up. He is 0-7 now. But he had a solid negative 14 points in fantasy. That was not happy about that one. Did not have a good performance there whatsoever. Zach Littell, his 4th win of the season. So he's had a much better stretch over the past couple of weeks. Speaking of the Padres, they would actually get shut out by the Phillies and Jesus Luzardo with his 4th win. Is that Griffin Canning? That's his first name, right? Yeah, Griffin Canning, his 3rd loss. He's 0-3 in the season. Johan Duran, save number 10 as well. Was this a Kyle Schwarber home run game? I think it was. Yeah, Kyle Schwarber with a solo shot, which wind up being the game-winning run over in the first inning. Then Alec Marsh with a 2-run home run as well to really add some salt in the wound. Those are the two of the 3 hits the Phillies hit in that one, interestingly enough. The Rangers and Astros would start a divisional matchup with the Astros throwing a no-hitter, a combined no-hitter in this game. And a very interesting one as well, because it was 5 walks to 4 strikeouts in this one as well for the combined no-hitter between Tatsuya Imai, Steven Okert, and what is your first name? Alimber Santa, Alimber Santa was the last one. He pitched the final 2. So not exactly the most common type of no-hitter stat line. 4 runs or 4 strikeouts, 5 walks between 3 pitchers. That is, they got it done. It's a combined no-hitter. It's going to go in the record books. So interesting there. They also 9 runs for the Astros is kind of crazy too. Yeah. So the Rangers really struggling as of late, I might add. The Marlins would win 8-2 over the Blue Jays, starting out a series there. Trey Yesevich, his second loss of the season. The Dodgers would win 5-3 over their division rival Rockies. And then the Mariners would win 9-2 over their division rival Athletics. Because again, I'm trying to really speed through this last. I'm just gonna not even really care about stats for this last day because it's getting a little long. But yeah, I'm gonna power through today. So the O's would win 6-1 over the Rays earlier today. I mean, again, now it's technically yesterday, but yeah, for Tuesday. Shane Baz pitched really well because I do want to go over the stats on this one at least. Samuel Basallo hit a 3-run home run in this game. Unfortunately, Griffin Jax, who was pitching for the Rays, took a hit on the back from, I believe it was Jeremiah Jackson, or it might have been Leo Taveras, one of the two, but it was a comebacker that hit him like squarely on the back, so he had to leave the game after another inning he pitched pretty much due to his back contusion, I think is what they called it. So unfortunate there. But the O's 2 in a row against the Rays of all things. They have a chance to sweep coming up here against the Rays, which would be very, very strange. So we'll see what happens. The Braves would win 7-6 over the Dodgers. Spencer Strider got his 3rd win of the season. Raisel Iglesias' 9th save. The Colorado Rockies and Dodgers, I don't know why I specified Colorado there. The Rockies and Dodgers are currently still playing at the top of the 9th of the one. I think it's the only game that's still going on. Though this is very much going to end in a Dodgers victory as they are currently up 15-2. So I think the Dodgers are going to win that one, if I'm being honest. The Nats won 6-3 over the Gardeners. What? I'm getting tired of this point. I need to wrap this up soon. Nats won 6-3 over the Guardians. Cade Cavalli, his 3rd win. Angels would win 10-6 over the Tigers, who are still continuing to skid a ton. Will Vest, his 4th loss. Then they have to play Jose Soriano next, which certainly doesn't help. The Pirates would win 12-1 over the Cubs, who are really having a rough go of things. Braxton Ashcraft got another win there. Blue Jays won 8-1 over the Marlins. And Stanley Alcantara, who I unfortunately had on my fantasy team, took the loss there. Reds won 7-2 over the Mets. 15 hits there for the Reds as well. Chase Burns, his 7th win of the season. He's been pitching really well. The Twins won 5-3 over the White Sox. This is one of the T. Rogerses. This is Taylor Rogers, his 1st win of the season for Minnesota. The Yankees won 15-1 over the Royals. My goodness. Cam Schlittler, his 7th win. This was, this whoa, boy, that was rough. Yikes. How did Ryan Yarbrough have a save in this one? This is 15 runs. What? How many innings in Ryan? He only pitched 3 innings. How is that a save? It's a 14-run save, apparently, for Ryan Yarbrough. I don't know how that happens. But okay, sure. You do you, baseball scoring. The Brewers, meanwhile, would win 6-0 over the Cardinals. Michael McGreevy got his 4th loss. I, of course, also happen to have him on my fantasy team. On my fantasy team. I picked both up him and Alcantara to try and get me some points, and they got me a combined -12, so that was real fun to see. The Rangers would win, so the Rangers would finally get a win, winning 10-7 over the Astros there. Then the Phillies would win 4-3 over the Padres. Mariners would win 4-1 over the Athletics, and then Diamondbacks would win 7-5 over the Giants. Eduardo Rodriguez, his 5th win of the season. Paul Sewald, 13th save. Nice. All right. Standings real quick to hit them. I've already gone over a couple of these teams, but the Rays are currently leading the AL East at 34-18. Yankees 2.5 games back at 33-22. Blue Jays 9.5 back at 26-29. Orioles 10.5 back at 25-30. Red Sox 12.5 back at 22-31. In the AL Central, it is the Cleveland Guardians leading at 32-25. The White Sox, the White Sox of Chicago are 3.5 back at 27 apiece, wins and losses. The Twins are 4 games back at 27-28. Royals 9 games back at 22-33, and then Tigers 10 games back at 21-34. Then over in the AL West, where no one is above 500, it is the A's leading the division at 27-28. The Mariners are a half game back at 27-29. The Rangers are 1.5 back at 25-29. The Astros are 3.5 back at 24-32. And the Angels are 6 back at 21 and 34. In the National League East, to be specific, it is the Braves leading that division at 37 and 18. The Nats are 8.5 back at 29 and 27. Phillies 9 back at 28 and 27. Marlins 11.5 back at 26 and 30. And then the Mets are 15 games back at 22 and 33. In the NL Central, it is the Brewers at 32 and 20 leading the way. The Cardinals are 3.5 back at 29 and 34. The Reds 4 back at 29 and 25. The Pirates are 4.5 back at 29 and 26. Chicago Cubs are the same record as the Pirates, 29 and 26. Then finally in the NL West, let me make sure, is this updated? So it's not quite updated yet. So the Dodgers they're going to be 35 and 20 at this point. The Padres should be, I guess, 3.5 back then at 31 and 23. D-backs should be 4.5 back then at 30 and 24. The Giants should be 13 back at 22 and 33. And then the Rockies are going to be, I believe, either 15 or 15.5 back at 20 and 36 in just a few moments. They're actually scored a couple runs there. It's 6-15 at the moment. They've scored. They're actually, wow, they've scored 5 here in the 9th inning at the moment. Hang on a minute. It's 2 outs at the moment as well. So again, they're not going to win. They're down. They're down 15-1 going in the 9th inning. But it's Ezekiel Tovar's low to the bases here. Hang on. I'm gonna keep an eye on it as I go to the stats real quick. Just gonna keep an eye on that. Hang on. So actually, yeah, let me split screen the game cast and the stats real quick. Cause the Rockies aren't going to win this. They're not going to win this, but I'm very curious to see how close they make it. If they score any more runs here, pretty much. So, because again, it's still, oh no. Okay. It looks like they're saying it's 3 outs now. Game should be over. So anyway, the game cast is not updated. It says 3 outs now. It just has not shown me exactly what has happened. But anyway, so batting average wise, it is Otto Lopez. I'm going to stop, or I'll keep doing the teams. Yeah. Otto Lopez for the Marlins, leading the league at 330. Brandon Marsh for the Phillies, second at 326. Troy Johnston for the Rockies at 323. Luis Arias for the Giants at 317. And then Yandy Diaz for the Rays at 312. So yeah, that Rockies-Dodgers game has gone final 15-6. Okay. Oops, didn't mean to close out of that. The home run leaders is Kyle Schwarber for the Phillies at 21. Munetaka Murakami for the White Sox at 19. Yordan Alvarez for the Astros at 18. Aaron Judge for the Yankees at 17. Byron Buxton for the Twins at 16. RBIs, it is CJ Abrams for the Nats and Andy Pajes for the Dodgers at 46. Matt Olson and Liam Hicks for the Braves and Marlins at 44. And then Jordan Walker for the Cardinals at 42. All National League players there. Interesting. Hits, it is Otto Lopez with 71. Luis Arias 64. Xavier Edwards for the Marlins also at 64. Bobby Witt Jr. for the Royals also at 64. Then Ernie Clement for the Blue Jays at 62. Stolen bases, it is Nasim Nunez for the Nats at 22. Jose Ramirez for the Guardians at 20. O'Neal Cruz for the Pirates at 17. So that's, I think, the same top three as it has been for the past 4 weeks now, it feels like. Bobby Witt Jr. for the Royals at 16. And then Randy Arozarena for the Mariners at 14. Pitching-wise, it is Aaron Ashby for the Brewers with 8 wins. And then a bunch of guys at 7, including Cam Schlegler for the Yankees, Gavin Williams for the Guardians, Chase Burns for the Reds, Chris Sale for the Braves, and then Davis Martin for the White Sox, all with 7 wins. ERA, it is Cam Schlegler with 1.5. Nick Martinez for the Rays at 1.51. Kyle Harrison for the Brewers at 1.57. Christopher Sanchez for the Phillies at 1.62, and then Jacob Mrazorowski for the Brewers at 1.83. Saves, it is Cade Smith for the Guardians at 18, Mason Miller for the Padres at 16, Brian Baker for the Rays at 14, Riley O'Brien for the Cardinals at 13. Same with Paul Sewald for the Diamondbacks at 13. And that is not updated. I think David Bednar for the Yankees also at 13 at this point. He might be at 12, but he's pretty close. Strikeouts, it is Jacob Mizorowski with 100 even. So I think these should be pretty much up to date. I don't know about everything. Dylan Cease for the Blue Jays, who is now on the injured list at 92. Christopher Sanchez with 86. Gavin Williams for the Guardian. Or no, he's already shown up. Yeah, Gavin Williams 84. Cam Schlittler 81. Quality starts, it is Chris Sale and Michael Walker. Michael Walker on the Royals, both with 9. Christopher Sanchez with 8. Bryce Elder for the Braves with 8 as well. And same with Yoshinobu Yamamoto for the Dodgers, also at 8. And I guess this probably is not updated. Cam Schlittler and Cam Schlittler also has 8 as well, up to that list. Then quickly for like walks, doubles, and all that. So leading the league in doubles, it is Matt Olson for the Braves and Ernie Clement with 17 apiece. A couple of guys tied at 15, including Freddie Freeman, Willie Adames, Taylor Ward, and Randy Arozarena, and also Riley Green, and Tyler Soderstrom, and Taylon Lyle. That just keeps going down. I didn't realize there was that many. They all have 15 according to this list. Oops, did not want to go over to pitching just yet. Triples, it is going to be Corbin Carroll. I know that. That is double still. Hang on. Triples, it is Corbin Carroll with 8 now on the season. Chandler Simpson with 4 for the Rays. Corbin Carroll on the Diamondbacks. And then, let's see, walks, it should be Taylor Ward. Actually, Taylor Ward has been usurped. It is Nick Kurtz for the Athletics with 52. Taylor Ward is tied for second with Mike Trout at 48 apiece. Trout on the Angels, Ward on the Orioles. Strikeout leaders, it is O'Neal Cruz with 84 for the Pirates. Kyle Schwarber for the Phillies at 78. And then actually 3 guys at 77, including Zach Neto, Munetaka Murakami, and James Wood. Once again, James Wood for the Nats is up there in both most strikeouts and most walks. He's like around top 5 for both. And then WAR leaders, wins above replacement. It is Bobby Witt Jr. at 3.4, Andy Paez 3.3, Jordan Walker 3.1. Pitching, it is, let's see, whip, I might go. That's what I've been doing. Matthew Liberatore for the Cardinals at a 1.57. Or no, it's Paul Skeens with a 0.82 whip. Yeah, that sounds right. WAR leaders, it is Christopher Sanchez at 3.6, Cam Schlittler 3.1, Davis Martin 2.9. Let's see, most walks given up, it was like Luis Severino right beforehand. Bubba Chandler now at 34 for the Pirates. Luis Severino and Jacob Lopez both for the Athletics at 31 apiece as well. Then most home runs given up, it is Jameson Taillon for the Cubs, with 17. Zach Littell for the Nats at 15. Brady Singer for the Reds at 14. Most earned runs given up, let's see. Michael Lorenzen for the Rockies at 43. Most hits given up, it is also Michael Lorenzen at 84. Most innings pitched, it is Sandy Alcantara at 75.1 innings pitched. That might be updated to his most recent start. I do not know. Christopher Sanchez is right behind him at 72.1. Cam Schlittler right behind him at 72 even. Fielding, just for errors, it is... actually, I might do D-WAR as well. Errors for catchers, it is Nick Fortes for the Rays, Freddie Fermin for the Padres, and Hunter Goodman for the Rockies, all at 4. D-WAR, it is... So this is defensive WAR for catchers. It is Patrick Bailey for, San Francisco and Cleveland. Currently on Cleveland at 0.7. JT Realmuto for the Phillies, also at 0.7 D-WAR. First baseman errors, it is... One moment. Rafi Devers for... Actually, a lot of guys at 4. Rafi Devers for the Giants, Vlad Guerrero Jr. for the Blue Jays, Jake Bowers for the Brewers, Jake Berger for the Rangers, and then Jonathan Aranda for the Rays, all with 4. Defensive WAR leaders, it is Cody Clemens for the Twins and Ty France for the Padres at good voice crack, 0.3. Second baseman, errors, it is Jeremiah Jackson for the Orioles, and Luke Keeschel for the Twins at 5. D-War, it is Cole Young for the Mariners at 1.3. J.J. Weatherholt for the Cardinals at 1.0. Third baseman errors, it should be Brady House for the Nats at 8. Same with Junior Caminero for the Rays, also at 8. Matt Chapman at 6 errors for the Giants. He's also somehow has the most defensive, the highest D-War at 1.1. Not quite sure how, but I guess he's just a really good defensive third baseman who has committed a lot of errors as well. I don't know. And sure, let's go with that. Why not? Shortstops to go to them. Hopefully they make more sense. Willie Adames for the Giants. So it's Devers, Chapman, and Adames all like leading or high up in terms of errors for the Giants on the infield. That is not a good infield in terms of playing the ball cleanly. He has 9 errors. CJ Abrams for the Nats and Zach Neto for the Angels have 8 errors at shortstop. D-War, it is not all that surprisingly Bobby Witt Jr. at 1.2 for the Royals, and then Taylor Walls for the Rays at 1.1. Left fielder, it is errors-wise, shouldn't be too many, right? Yeah, a lot of guys at 1. Teoscar Hernandez, Cody Bellinger, Ian Happ, Brian Reynolds, Josh Lowe, Brandon Marsh, Isaac Collins, Chandler Simpson, Dalen Lyle, all listed at 1 error apiece. Feels like there should be more, but maybe not. Defensive WAR, it is Cody Bellinger for the Yankees, leading at 0.8. Let me take a sip of water here real quick. Center fielders, errors-wise, it is Pete Kerr Armstrong for the Cubs at 3, but he's also leading the league in defensive WAR at 1.6. Andy Pages is right behind him at 1.5. Because I know, like, PCA's had a pretty rough stretch defensively over like this past week or so, but overall he's been making really good plays in center field from what I've seen. So I think that's why there. Right fielders, it is Cam Smith for the Astros, leading with errors at 4. And then Willie Abreu for the Red Sox has 1.0 WAR defensively. Next closest is actually Cam Smith at 0.5. Willie Abreu also has 3 errors, interestingly enough. So I think it's just like guys who they're making a lot of plays. I guess sometimes the plays just don't work out in the end. Interesting there. Pitcher error. Kevin Gaussman, Dylan Cease, Kyle Bradish, Chase Burns, all with 2. Nobody currently has listed D-War as well. So I think that will do it on this one. That is pretty much similar time to the rest of them. So yeah, that will wrap this episode up. Episode this Saturday will be on something. I have no idea yet, but I will try and get something out. Otherwise, if you want to listen to my review of The Mandalorian and Grogu, I actually just posted it like a couple hours ago on my YouTube channel. It is Henry the Host. It is all one word. If you look it up on YouTube, you can find this podcast there, and along with various other things that I do as a lowly content creator with 65 subscribers on YouTube. Feel free to go subscribe. It would certainly help me out and make me just feel happy. I like seeing the number go up. It's nice. But yeah, for now though, next week will be more baseball as per usual. Otherwise, thank you very much for listening.